Dear students, how are you? Hope you are all fine. Welcome once again, all of you, to our online class of Southern School. I am here with a new class of the Merchant of Venice Act 4. This is going to be my third class of the Merchant of Venice Act 4. In our previous class, we have discussed how Portia makes earnest appeal to Shylock, the cruel moneylender, to show mercy on Antonio. But Shylock did not pay any attention. In today's class, we will discuss about Portia's role in saving Antonio, the merchant, from the clutches of Shylock, the cruel moneylender. So let's discuss. Now, Shylock is ready to cut 1 pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Portia, like a learned lawyer, asks Shylock to wait. Portia, tarry a little, there is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. Tarry a little, my dear students. Tarry a little means wait a little. Portia asks Shylock to wait a little. There is another point in the bond. What is the point? The bond does not allow Shylock to take the smallest particle of blood. That means the bond allows Shylock to take 1 pound of flesh without shedding a drop of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh, but in the cutting it, if thou dost shed 1 drop of Christian blood. Here Christian blood refers to the blood of Antonio. You know, my dear students, Antonio is a Christian. Thy lands and goods are by the laws of Venice confiscate. Confiscate means confiscated. Confiscated are by the laws of Venice confiscate. Confiscate means confiscated unto the state of Venice. So Portia warns Shylock by saying that when Shylock is going to cut 1 pound of flesh, Portia tells Shylock to wait a little. There is another point in the bond, that the bond allows Shylock to cut 1 pound of flesh without shedding a drop of blood. So Portia tells Shylock to take 1 pound of flesh. It is written in the bond that only 1 pound of flesh. In cutting 1 pound of flesh, if Shylock sheds 1 drop of Christian blood, that is Antonio's blood, then by the laws of Venice, all his lands and property will be forfeited to the state. In Portia's speech, Graciano again becomes very much happy. He says, "O Jew, an upright judge," a learned judge. Graciano actually repeating those words of Shylock which he previously used. Portia, therefore prepare thee to cut off the flesh, shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less more or nor more, but just a pound of flesh. If thou cuttest more or less than a just pound, be it but so much as makes it light or heavy in the substance, or the division of the 20th part of 1 poor scruple. Scruple means, my dear students, a very small unit of weight. A very small unit of weight. Scruple, nay, if the scale do turn, but in the estimation of a hair, thou diest, and all thy goods are confiscated. So Portia makes it clear that the bond allows him to cut 1 pound of flesh only, 1 pound of flesh without shedding a drop of blood. Portia also warns Shylock, cut 1 pound of flesh, neither more nor less. If he cuts more than 1 pound of flesh or less than 1 pound of flesh, he will have to die, and all his goods and property will be confiscated by the state. So this is the warning Portia gives to Shylock before Shylock going to cut 1 pound of flesh. A second Daniel, a Daniel Jew, now infidel I have thee on the hip. Infidel means non-believer. Non-believer who does not believe in Christian faith, non-believer. Infidel means non-believer. So Graciano again repeats Shylock's words. Truly, the lawyer is a Daniel, Jew. Now, unbeliever, I have a firm hold on you. Yes. Infidel means non-believer. Now, Graciano repeats the words of Shylock which he previously used to praise Portia. Portia, why doth the Jew pause? Take thy forfeiture. Portia now asks Shylock, why do you delay, Jew? Take your pound of flesh. Shylock, give me my principal and let me go. Now, Shylock, finding no other way, asks to Portia to give his own 3,000 ducats. Few minutes ago, he was asking about 3 times the actual amount. Now, he is only asking the 3,000 ducats and let him go. That's no, I have it ready for thee. There it is, Portia again. He hath reused it in the open court. He shall have merely justice and his bond. Portia, he has already refused it, Bassanio. Publicly, he has refused to take 3,000 ducats. He shall have nothing but strict justice, as he has demanded strict justice, so he will have only strict justice according to the terms of the bond. Graciano. Daniel still say, I asked second Daniel. Yes, Shylock. You are right. Yes, the lawyer is a second Daniel. I thank thee, Jew, for teaching me that word. Graciano mockingly says Shylock, mockingly thanks Shylock for teaching him the word Daniel. Shylock, shall I not have barely my principal? Portia, thou shalt have nothing but the forfeiture to be so taken at the peril, Jew. Now, Shylock asks Portia, shall I not receive back my original sum? Portia, no, you shall have nothing but the forfeited pound of flesh, and you shall take it at your own risk. What is the risk? The risk is he will get 1 pound of flesh without shedding drop of blood. That is quite impossible, my dear students. Shylock, why then the devil give him good of it? I will stay no longer question. Then may the devil take him. I shall not stay here to discuss it any longer. Portia is ready with another warning. Now Portia, tarry, Jew, the law hath yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien. Aliens means foreigner. Alien means, my dear students, foreigner. That by direct or indirect attempts he seek the life of any citizen, the party against the which he doth contrive. Contrive means plotting, plot. Shall seize 1/2 his goods, the other half comes to the privy coffer of the state. So, Portia says that the law hath yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien that by direct or indirect attempts he seeks the life of any citizen, the party against the which he doth contrive means plotting. Contrive means plot. Shall seize 1/2 his goods, the other half comes to the privy coffer means treasury of the state. Privy coffer means comes to the treasury of the state. Privy coffer means treasury. And the offender's life lies in the mercy of the duke only against all other voice. In which predicament against all other voice means without consideration of what others may say. So against all other voice means without consideration of what others may say. In which predicament I say thou standest, for it appears by manifest proceeding. Manifest proceeding means clear evidence. Manifest proceeding means clear evidence from what has happened, that indirectly and directly too thou hast contrived against the very life of the defendant, and thou hast incurred become liable to, incurred means become liable to the danger formerly by me rehearsed down therefore and beg mercy of the Duke. Portia again stops Shylock by saying that it is laid down in the laws of Venice that if it be proved against a foreigner that directly or indirectly he has plotted against the life of any citizen of Venice, then that citizen against whom he plotted may seize one half of the foreigner's property, and the other half shall be paid into the private treasury of the state, and the offender may only retain his own life by the exercise of mercy by the Duke, no other person being allowed to intervene. So this is clear statement from Portia that if any foreigner directly or indirectly tries to kill the citizen of Venice, and if it be proved, then that citizen against whom the foreigner plotted may seize one half of his property, and the other half will go to the private treasury of the state, and the offender may only retain his own life by the exercise of mercy by the Duke, and no other person will be allowed to intervene. Portia says that this charge is now applicable to Shylock, as there is clear evidence that Shylock has conspired against the very life of Antonio, both directly and indirectly. Now Shylock has become liable to the penalty which Portia has just mentioned. So Portia advises Shylock to kneel to the Duke at once and asks for mercy. Graciano, who is playing an important role in this act, says, "Beg that thou mayst have lived so to hang thyself, and yet thy wealth being forfeit to the state, thou hast not left the value of a cord, therefore thou must be hanged at the state's charge." Graciano tells Shylock, ask Shylock that you may be allowed to hang yourself, but yet since all your wealth has been forfeited, you are nothing but a beggar now, you have not enough money left to buy the rope, so you must be hanged at the expense of the state. This is an irony, my dear students, from Graciano. Duke, that thou shalt see the difference of our spirit, I pardon thee thy life before thou ask it. For half thy wealth it is Antonio's, the other half comes to the general state, which humbleness may drive unto a fine. Duke says, I order that you may see the difference between your nature and that of a Christian. I grant you your life before you ask me for it. As for half of your wealth that now belongs to Antonio, merciful and let you off with a fine. So this is the difference between you, Shylock, and us. You have paid no mercy to Antonio, but before asking me, I grant your life. This is the difference, Shylock. Look at the difference, the Duke says to Shylock. Portia, I for the state, not for Antonio. Shylock, nay, take my life and all, pardon not that. You take my house. When you do take the prop means, my dear students, pillar that doth sustain my house. You take my life when you do take the means whereby I live. Shylock says, Shylock urges to the Duke to take his life, his house. No need to show any mercy on him. They may take his house itself as pull away the pillars which support his house. They may take his life, but no need to show any mercy. Portia now asks Antonio. What mercy can you render him, Antonio? What type of mercy can Antonio suggest for Shylock? Graciano ironically says, a halter gratis, nothing else, for God's sake. Only Antonio, you may give him a rope, as he has no money left. He is now a mere beggar, so give him a rope with which he can hang himself and nothing more, for God's sake. This is an irony from Graciano. Antonio, so please, my lord the Duke and all the court, to quit the fine for 1/2 of his goods. I am content, so he will let me have the other half in use to render it upon his death unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter. 2 things provided more, that for this favor he presently become a Christian, the other that he do record a gift here in the court of all he dies possessed unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter. Speech, Antonio says, if you, my lord Duke, and this court will be graciously pleased to remit the fine of 1/2 of his goods, I am content on the condition that he will let me have the other half to employ in business, to that I may give it on Shylock's death to the gentleman who so lately carried off his daughter. 2 other conditions Antonio suggests. 1, in return for this favor, he will have to embrace the Christian religion. He will have to accept the Christian religion. And secondly, that he draw up his will here in the court, leaving all his wealth at death to his son-in-law Lorenzo and his daughter Jessica. This is what Antonio says to the Duke. Now, Duke, he shall do this, or else I do recant the pardon that I late pronounced here. Recant means withdraw. Yes, Antonio, you are absolutely correct. Either he will have to do this, or I will cancel the pardon which I granted him here so recently. This is what Duke says. Portia, art thou contented, Jew? What dost thou say? Are you contented, Jew? What do you say? Shylock, I am content. Is there any other way? No other way. So he is now contented. He is now happy. Portia, clerk, draw a deed of gift. Deed of gift. Draw a deed of gift. Draw a legal document. Deed of gift means legal document for the transfer of property. Shylock, I pray you give me leave to go from hence. I am not well. Send the deed after me, and I will sign it. Shylock, I beg you that you will allow me to go from here. I am ill. Send the document after me, and I shall sign it. This is what Shylock says to Portia, to the Duke. Duke, get the gun, but do it. You may go now, but do not neglect to sign it. Graciano again ironically says to Shylock, in questioning shalt thou have 2 godfathers. Had I been judge, thou shouldst have had 10 more to bring thee to the gallows, not to the font. Font means baptismal basin, bowl on a raised platform containing holy water for the ceremony of baptism. So what is the meaning of font? Bowl on a raised platform containing holy water for the ceremony of baptism. So what does Graciano want to say through his speech? Graciano wants to say, when Shylock undergoes the ceremony of Christian baptism, he shall have 2 sponsors to vouch for him. Had he been judge, he should have had a jury of 12 to send him to be hanged on the gallows instead of baptized in the sacred font. This is what Graciano says to Shylock. Now Shylock departs. Now Duke, sir, I entreat you home with me to dinner. Entreat you means here the Duke is inviting Portia, the lawyer, the disguised lawyer. Entreat means, my dear students, invite Portia, I humbly do desire your grace of pardon. I must away this night toward Padua, and it is meet I presently set forth. Portia says that he humbly asks his grace to excuse him. He must leave for Padua that night, and it is important that he starts soon. So the Duke invites Portia, the disguised lawyer, to dine with him, but Portia humbly says that it is important to leave for Padua that night. I am sorry that your leisure serves you not, Antonio. Gratify this gentleman, for in my mind you are much bound to him. Now Duke says, I am sorry. He says that he feels sorry that he can't dine with him as he will have to leave for Padua soon. So he feels sorry that the lawyer has not the leisure time to come. Antonio, the Duke asks Antonio to reward this gentleman, for the Duke thinks that Antonio is under a great obligation to the lawyer. The Duke and the followers leave. Now Bassanio, most worthy gentleman, I and my friend have by your wisdom been this day acquitted. Acquitted means relieved. This is a day of great relief, and why not? This is the day on which Portia saves Antonio from the clutches of cruel Shylock. So Bassanio says, most worthy gentleman, I and my friend have by your wisdom been this day acquitted. Acquitted means, my dear students, relieved of grievous penalties in lieu whereof. In lieu whereof means in payment for this. In lieu whereof means in payment for this. 3,000 ducats due unto the Jew, we freely cope your courteous pains withal. In lieu whereof means in payment for this. So this is what Bassanio says, most worthy gentleman, I and my friend have, thanks to your skill, been freed from great penalties today. As payment for this, we freely reward your courteous services with the 3,000 ducats which you owe to the Jew. This is what Bassanio says. Bassanio offers the lawyer 3,000 ducats, Antonio, and stand indebted over and above in love and service to you evermore. Antonio says, and in addition to this, we shall ever owe you a debt of love and service. Portia, he is well paid, that is well satisfied. Very important line, my dear students. He is well paid, that is well satisfied, and I, delivering you, am satisfied, and therein do account myself well paid. My mind was never yet more mercenary. Mercenary means interested in money. So Portia indirectly says that his mind, or her mind rather say, is not interested in money. I pray you know me when we meet again. I wish you well, and so I take my leave. So Portia says, the man who is well satisfied is well paid. I am satisfied as I am successful in giving you right judgment, and I am well satisfied in having been able to deliver you, and therefore I consider myself well paid. My mind was never more desirous for any better reward than this. I hope that you will not forget me when we meet, so I give you best wishes and take my leave. Portia clearly states that he, as a lawyer, has performed his duty. He saves Antonio from the clutches of Shylock, so he is not satisfied. Nothing can be more pleasing than this. He is very much happy in delivering the right judgment to Antonio. So his mind is not desirous for money. He is satisfied, so he is well paid. He is successful in achieving his goal as a lawyer. He has achieved the goal, so he is satisfied. In this way, Portia refuses to take money or anything else from Antonio and Bassanio. Now Bassanio makes another attempt to give Portia something. Dear sir, of force I must attempt to further. Take some remembrance of us as a tribute, not as a fee. Grant me two things, I pray you, not to deny me and to pardon me. Remembrance means something that reminds. Something that reminds. So Bassanio in his speech again makes an earnest appeal to Portia. He says, dear lawyer, I am compelled, Bassanio is compelled to make a further effort. He again asks Portia to take something from them as a remembrance rather as a fee. He also requests Portia to grant him two things and not to refuse him the request, and to pardon him for making it again and again. Now Portia, you praise me far, and therefore I will yield. To Antonio, Portia says, give me your gloves, I will wear them for your sake. And to Bassanio, Portia says, and I will take this ring from you. Do not draw back your hand, I will take no more, and you will love, shall not deny me this. So Portia, as they are urging very much to take something, now Portia says to Antonio to give his gloves so that she can wear them in remembrance. And to Bassanio, she asks the ring which Bassanio is wearing. And Portia also says to Bassanio not to withdraw his hand, for he will not accept anything but the ring. Bassanio says, this ring, good sir, alas, it is a triple. I will not shame myself to give you this. Triple means insignificant thing. Now actually you know, my dear students, that Portia here is a disguised lawyer. Portia in the form of a lawyer is actually testing Bassanio, whether Bassanio is parting with the ring or not. So Portia again and again asking for the ring. Bassanio now says, this ring, why? It is a mere triple. Now Bassanio at the time of marriage promised Portia never to part with the ring. So he now says to Portia, it is a mere triple thing, an insignificant thing. I would feel ashamed to offer you this ring. So now Bassanio does not want to part the ring. He says that this is a triple thing, my dear lawyer. I would be ashamed myself to offer you this ring. Don't ask me this ring. I will give you another ring. I will buy another ring from the market of Venice. Or say, I will accept, I will have nothing else but only this, and now methinks I have a mind to it. Now Portia, as I have already told you, my dear students, she is testing Bassanio in the form of a disguised lawyer. She is actually testing Bassanio whether her husband parts with the ring or not. So Portia says that he or she will accept nothing else but the ring. The ring which Bassanio wears. Bassanio is wearing. That ring only Portia wants and nothing else. And now Portia thinks that she has a feeling that she wants to have it. Now Portia starts liking the ring. So he or she, whatever, Portia in the form of a disguised lawyer is asking that ring which Bassanio wears, which Bassanio is wearing on his finger and nothing else. Portia insisting on taking the ring which Bassanio is wearing on his finger. Bassanio says, there's more depends on this than on the value. The dearest ring in Venice will I give you, and find it out by proclamation. Only for this I pray you pardon me. Bassanio says that this ring is more than its actual value to him. The ring which he is wearing on his finger is more than its actual value. Bassanio will give the lawyer the costliest ring in Venice. He will send a man and proclaim that he wants the same ring, but requests the lawyer to excuse him from giving him this one ring, this ring, the ring which he is wearing. So in this way, he does not want to part the ring which he promised to keep on his finger at the time of marriage. Bassanio promised to his wife. So in this way, he does not want to part the ring. The Portia says, I see, sir, you are liberal in offers. You taught me first to beg, and now methinks you teach me how a beggar should be answered. The Portia says to Bassanio that Bassanio can make only offers, but he is unable to give anything. When first of all, Bassanio requests Portia to take something. Now, when Portia is asking something, Bassanio is refusing to give. This is not fair. According to Portia, this is not fair. According to Portia, Bassanio can only make offers. Bassanio is unable to give anything. At the time of giving anything, he only refuses to give. This is not fair. Bassanio makes it more clear to Portia, the disguised lawyer, why he does not want to part the ring. Good sir, this ring was given me by my wife, and when she put it on, she made me vow that I should neither sell nor give nor lose it. Now, do you know, learned lawyer, why I do not want to part the ring? So listen, this ring was given to me by my wife at the time of marriage. This ring, the ring which I am wearing at this moment, was given me by my wife. When she placed it on my finger, she made me swear that I would never sell it or give it away or lose it. This is the reason, my learned lawyer, that is why I do not want to part the ring. Portia, that excuse serves many men to save their gifts. And if your wife be not a mad woman and know how well I have deserved the ring, she would not hold out enemy forever. She would not hold out enemy forever means she would not be angry with you. She would not hold out enemy forever means she would not be angry with you for giving it to me. Well, peace be with you. Portia and Nerissa exit. So now, hearing Bassanio's speech, Portia says, such an excuse makes it possible for many to avoid giving anything away. If Bassanio's wife is not a mad woman, and if she knows how well the lawyer has earned this ring, she would not be angry ever after for giving the ring to the lawyer. Well, goodbye. If you do not want to part the ring, well, okay, goodbye, see you again. Hearing the long conversation of Portia and Bassanio, now Antonio comes into the scene. Antonio now, through his next speech, makes a clear request, an earnest appeal to his dear friend Bassanio to part with the ring, the promised ring, the ring which the learned lawyer, the disguised lawyer, wants to take. Antonio requests Bassanio to give the ring to the learned lawyer, as he has saved his life from the cruel moneylender Shylock. Now Bassanio says, "My lord Bassanio, let him have the ring. Let his deservings and my love withal be valued against your wife's commandment." Here in this speech, Antonio earnestly makes an appeal to his dear friend Bassanio to give the ring to the learned lawyer as a gift of his service. Now Bassanio, hearing his dear friend Antonio's request, orders Gratiano to go and overtake the learned lawyer and give the ring, and asks the lawyer to come to Antonio's house. Bassanio, "Go, Gratiano, run and overtake him, give him the ring and bring him, if you canst, unto Antonio's house. Away, make haste." Now Bassanio in this speech orders Gratiano to go quickly and overtake the learned lawyer and give this ring to the learned lawyer, the disguised lawyer, and also ask the lawyer to come to Antonio's house. Gratiano exit. Now Bassanio says to Antonio, "Come, you and I will thither presently. So let's go to your house, and in the morning early we will both fly toward Belmont." Fly means travel quickly. So Bassanio has decided to go Belmont the next morning. "Come, Antonio." They both go out. Now I am going to read the scene number 2, Act 4, Scene 2. This is a very short scene. This short scene is about the exchange of rings, is in contrast to the previous trial scene. So this short scene about the exchange of rings in contrast to the previous trial scene. Portia and Nerissa, both in disguise, conclude their business in Venetian court and plan to be back to Belmont ahead of their husbands. Gratiano gives Bassanio's ring to Portia and agrees to show Nerissa Shylock's house. Nerissa tells Portia that she too will try to get her own ring from Gratiano. Portia takes great delight in playing the double ring joke on their husbands. This is the scene in nutshell I have told, my dear students. So let's discuss about the scene in detail. A street in Venice. Scene number 2, Act 4, Scene 2. A street in Venice. Enter Portia and Nerissa disguised as before. Portia, "Inquire the Jew's house out, give him this deed and let him sign it. We will away tonight and be a day before our husband's home. This deed will be welcome to Lorenzo." Portia asks Nerissa to find out the Jew's house and give him the deed, that is the legal document, and get him to sign it. Portia has decided to go tonight as soon as possible to Belmont and be home a day before their husbands. According to Portia, the legal document, the deed, will be welcome as a present to Lorenzo. Enter Gratiano. Gratiano, "Fair sir, you are well overtaken. My lord Bassanio, upon more advice, has sent you here this ring and doth entreat your company at dinner." Now Gratiano thinks himself fortunate to overtake the lawyer and delivers the message that his lord Bassanio has sent the desired ring and also has asked Portia to dine with him. Portia, "That cannot be his ring. I do accept most thankfully, and so I pray you tell him. Furthermore, I pray you show my youth old Shylock's house." Now Portia says it is not possible to dine with Bassanio. Portia accepts the ring with gratitude and asks Gratiano to show the house of the Jew to show the house of Shylock. Graciano, that will I do. Yes, yes, I shall show the house of the Jew. Nerissa wants to converse with Graciano, who is none other than her husband. Sir, I would speak with you. Aside to Portia, I will see if I can get my husband's ring, which I did make him swear to keep forever. Nerissa tells Portia that she also wants to see that she can persuade her husband to give her his ring, which she made him promise to keep forever. So Nerissa here also wants to play a trick on Graciano, her husband, like Portia, what Portia did with Bassanio. Portia, aside to Nerissa, thou mayst, I warrant, we shall have old swearing. Portia says, I'm sure you will be able to do so. We shall have old swearing that they did give the rings away to men, but we will outface them. Outface means oppose them. Outface means oppose them. And outswear them too. Outswear means swear more loudly. So here Portia says, yes, you can. I'm sure you will be able to do so. Portia says to Nerissa that she will be able to take the ring from her husband too. Then they shall have a busy time swearing that they gave the rings away to men. But Portia and Nerissa will confront their husbands and swear more loudly that they did not. Rather, they have given the ring to women rather than men. Aloud, away, make haste, thou knowest where I will tarry. Now Portia says to Nerissa, go Clark, go, make haste, you know where I shall be waiting for you. Nerissa, come, good sir, will you show me to this house? Now Nerissa requests Graciano, who is actually her husband, to show the house of the cruel Jew, cruel moneylender Shylock, and Nerissa and Graciano finally go out together. So that's for today's class. Here we have completed Act 4 of The Merchant of Venice. Thank you very much for watching the video. Stay tuned for our next video. Thank you.